So today we're going to be talking about single-stranded single waffle stitch and a slightly larger variation of that, which is the double. You can see here, this is a bigger swatch of single waffle stitch compared to the double right here. So they both start the same way on the first row, and that's how we're going to create these bars to give it that waffle texture. So to do that, you'll start off with a knit stitch, and then on your second stitch, you'll bring the yarn to the front of the work, slip the stitch purlwise off of your left needle onto your right, and then knit your third stitch. So this second stitch here is not knitted, it's just slipped with the yarn in front. So again, yarn from the back of the work to the front here, slip this stitch purlwise, and then knit your next stitch. Just like that. So we'll work our way to the end of this row. And for this single variation, or this smaller waffle stitch, it's worked in 2 rows. A larger waffle stitch is worked in 4, which I will show you, but the only ones you'll need to know for the single variation are these 2. So on your second row, you're just going to purl your way back. You don't have to do anything fancy, just a straight purl stitch. And that is how you get a single waffle knit stitch texture. So we go to the end of this work. And now you can see those last 2 rows that we worked to form that single waffle texture. Now, to do a double or a larger waffle texture, we're going to start it off the same way. Knitting one, slipping one purlwise with the yarn in front. Knit one, slip one. And we'll work that way down to the end of this row. And this is really where the larger variation comes into play, is on your second row. So you turn the work to the wrong side. You can tell it's the wrong side because there's no waffle pattern here. And then on this side, we're going to purl one, then move the yarn from the front of the work to the back, slip this stitch, and then purl your next stitch. So again, you're going to move your yarn from the front to the back of the work, slip the stitch purlwise, move it from the back to the front, and then purl. Continue doing that all the way down to the end of the work. One important thing to note for both single and double waffle stitch is that you need to work in an odd number of stitches. So when you're casting on, make sure it's not an even number. But now when we flip it, you can see that there's 2 bars here, just like we have in this double waffle stitch. Your next 2 rows, you will just knit down, turn the work to the wrong side, and purl back, and then continue with your first 2 rows to make this larger pattern. And that is how you waffle stitch.